What is up, my coconut bras, and welcome back to me too. It feels so good to be back. Now, many of you guys probably know this, but the reason that we have not had an upload in 6 days was because me and my wife's baby was born on last Thursday, 7:40 p.m. So as you guys can probably tell, I'm very low on sleep and I've just had a ton of exciting stuff happening over the past few days. So yet again, I apologize for the layoff. We should be getting back to normal very soon, and we got so much stuff coming up with the new update. And I also want to give a personal thank you to all of your guys' feedback, the kind words and prayers that you guys said to me. If you guys want to keep up with my personal life, I've never announced this before, but my personal Instagram, I'll leave it up here if you guys want to. It's JONKS. It's those letters just spelt out. I'll share it with you guys because you guys are so awesome. You guys are such a big part of my life. But anyways, we're going to jump right into the video with the amazing, hands down, one of the best Pro League games ever, the Pro League Finals with Penta and Evil Geniuses. And we got 5 maps with tips littered all over every single one, so buckle up, let's jump right into it. Starting out with map number 1.
Be too surprised to see Penta start going for the frags, and they will. Shate eliminates Young. Now Penta holds an advantage of 2. Smoke goes out onto the doorway, just inside of Moto. An angle being held right now as NBK being outdueled. That's the similar angle that we saw from Canadian that is now being used against them. Another smoke will go down. They will not be able to push through that main doorway.
Alright, bros, so starting out with map number 1, we're going downstairs and we're going to be doing 2 really nice lines of sight. Now this first one's going to be great. If you're attacking and you're able to get into the memorial room, you'll be able to hold a very nice angle all the way into the basement hallway, and it's going to go through church and through the bomb. So this is going to be a really sneaky one. You guys can see it even goes in between the little chairs also. Now for angle number 2, we're going to be using a shotgun, impact grenade, whatever you want to, on the soft wall in Arsenal room, and then we're also going to be vaulting up onto the little cases inside of the Arsenal room. And call you Obi-Wan Kenobi, you got the high ground now, and all you're going to do is lean right, go to the right hand side of the boxes, and you will be able to hold a very sneaky angle, and you will now have a line of sight that goes all the way to the bottom of central stairs. Now the attacker is going to have so many different angles to check, that's going to be a very nice pick for the defender.
Necrox's drone is outside of the stock doorway, and you can see 3 attackers spawning at kennels, which means it's likely that EG is going to execute towards the B-bomb site. As the marks come out, that will actually prompt Penta to their strategy.
Now this one is going to be a really simple one. If you have a feeling or you have a drone that's spotting somebody that's about to do a run out on the east hand side exits of Clubhouse, this is a really nice little hole inside of the broken wall that you can hold either for the window jump out or an actual full body run out from the stockroom. Now a lot of times the people running out from stockroom will be looking towards the garage, and you can see that this attacking angle is very difficult to see.
Very early on, NBK going to get the dresser in the main hallway, giving some extra playability to that corner. We have a Mira.
Alright, now moving on to map number 2 and also tip number 3. What you can do is you can actually blow up this little cabinet in the corner of Dorm's main hall. Now you need to be careful, unless you want this little line of sight that goes down to the bathroom, not to throw your impact grenade too low. Otherwise, there will be an opening up to the bottom that could leave you vulnerable. If you plan on holding the angle into bathroom, then that's also another option that you could do though. So from here, you guys can see that if you need to take cover, you actually now have an entire extra corner. Pretty cool little thing to keep in mind.
Nice kill there from Necrox, eliminating Fabian, and now it's a 3-on-5. As Gogo pushes his way into Generator, he's going to contest this smoke on the top of White Stairs, runs out of ammo, pulls out the nade, allowing a down from Young, but it's not enough as Tengu refrags and Goga finishes off that smoke. C4 from below, and NBK with the follow-up.
Alright, now one thing I believe that we can all agree on, regardless of who your favorite team is that Canadian is the Nitrocell daddy. He has so many really sick Nitrocell spots that he was using throughout this game. And yes, while these Nitrocell spots have been around, he was pulling them off at the highest level against the best team in the world on Siege. So this first one, from Classroom all the way up into Small Dorms, really sneaky spot. And all you gotta do is throw it on the north side of the ceiling fan.
Will now invest on that second floor where he sees a castle plan.
Very interesting castle setup there from Penta. Canadian gets Eunice. Can he get a second? No. Goga shuts him down and goes for the rotation. No C4 preemptively set up, and Penta has got that rotation ready to go for Goga as he moves back down into the site. A decent roam from Penta. It's important, though, that Evil Geniuses was able to get the Bandit, because that means Hibana could potentially open up the mirror windows in the actual site.
Now this one was awesome because we literally just covered this one on one of our sneaky outside rotation videos. Now from here, what we're going to be doing, and you guys saw Goga pull this off textbook perfect. He was able to pick off a kill, and then not only that, but delay the attackers even more so because BC was still looking for him. All while Goga was still flashed from the Zofia, he was able to rotate all the way down into Classroom, and you also saw him make a retreat all the way back down into the objective and onto site. All while BC was unaware that he made the rotation and it delayed the attackers even more.
If there's any player you want to have in a 1-on-4 for Penta, it's probably Pengu. BC's going to be in a nasty little spot here, waiting for the aggression, though, from the Hibana, who will hit that Ella charge, the Gersmot, forcing her into the bathroom stalls. Now Pengu coming around, not going to check this angle from BC, and will die as a result.
Alright, now I really wanted to include this little passive hiding spot because he pulled it off against arguably one of the best Rainbow Six Siege players in Pengu. All while Pengu was being very cautious, but he just had so many different areas to check, and then BC was able to pull off this really nice spot. And when you lie down and go prone, you're actually very well hidden. It's pretty cool to see. So just be cautious above the window above you, and if you know the last guy is inside, this is going to be a great one.
Off-site is gone, but Goga now will have to retreat very wisely, get back up to the confines of the actual bomb sites themselves. You've lost two roamers, not always a wise opportunity for another member to play that far away, in case the attackers decide to rush. After he was in the main lobby, gone up the main stairwell. Barbed wire behind him will be destroyed. That would have been an audio cue that somebody was coming, and they trade. BC eliminated, though. What a round from the Buck to...
Alright, now these two lines of sight that we saw Pengu watching were pretty dang smart, and these are going to be great. If you got a couple extra shotgun shots, just go ahead and put a couple holes in the floor in spot number 1, which we were able to see pretty clearly from the replay. And the spot that we only got a small glimpse of is this second one. And this spot is in the northwest corner of the kids' dorms. And from here, you can get a crazy deep angle that goes all the way through the doorway of kitchen. And it's very difficult to see if you're an attacker. A lot of times, the defenders will also have a mirror set up in kitchen that's facing west. And if anybody's attacking from the small tower side, this is going to be a complete pain in the butt in order to deal with, but they're going to be forced into this really unfortunate situation.
Just saw that all of the lifelines from Eunice are used. I'm not sure how they could have used them so early in the round.
Alright, now I absolutely love this take on a new way to hold Meeting Hall. Now in the video clip you guys saw they made a really nice line with a shotgun across the top, and for the sake of the video so that we just get an even bigger viewpoint, I'm going to use impact grenades, just going to wipe out the top, and from here you can hold really nice angles from the big tower that goes all the way through the meeting hall towards the south side, which a lot of people are going to have to be posting up. A lot of people and attackers will be rotating in and out of meeting hall, especially while looking for other roamers and also opening up the hatch to go downstairs. From this angle, the anchor that's on big tower has a huge advantage.
Push back up very smartly onto white stairs, expecting a push from Evil Geniuses. Right now it's a standoff as Young takes down Goga. Suppressed MP5 of Shate eliminates Necrox, who had a great previous round. That's going to leave double numbers for Evil Geniuses.
Alright, now moving on to map number 3, we're going to be on Kafe Dostoyevsky, and Shate was using a really nice variation of the pixel spot that takes place inside of the cigar lounge and watches over the top of the stairs. Now, you guys most likely know this, but anytime anybody is entering from the top of red stairs, they have so many different angles to check, and you guys can see that most of the times they're going to be checking that pixel spot that you see right there. A lot of people like to stand in that corner, and that little suitcase gives you extra cover. Now, you can shoot through it, so keep that in mind. But what it does is it kind of blinds your body for a lot of people, and it's so difficult for attackers to see. Cannot wait to use this one more.
Candela's onto the red stairs.
A retake against Penta in a 1v4, almost an impossible situation. I do not envy Canadian whatsoever. C4 will miss, and that's one of his levers of control gone. He's amidst the smoke. He sees the Ying run down. He'll take Fabian, but on the stairs, there's one more member of Penta.
Alright, so Nitrocell Daddy is going to bless us with yet again another really nice Nitrocell spot. Now, I had a few people actually message me after this game with this clip asking, oh, was this a glitch spot with Nitrocell? Because a lot of people think that the second floor is just all cement floor and you can't actually get explosives to go out. But a really nice pull setup is you can melee the bottoms of the windows like you see here, and you have total coverage and you don't have to worry too much about being flanked. Now, actually on the second floor of red stairs, you can see that it's actually a wooden floor. It's not concrete like in the train room or the machinery room. So from here, you will be able to get a Nitrocell off on anybody that's vaulting through.
As MBK dropped in the skylight, Shate gets the second for Penta. BC goes down. Evil Genius is now in a bad spot. 3-5. Wow, what a shot there from Shate, seeing the head of Young and just picking it down.
Alright, now we're going to be taking a look at something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I have such a high success rate for this. Now, I will normally stand up on top of this, and sometimes, depending on what level I'm playing at, do a spawn peek out of the top left corner of the window. But the majority of the time, all I'm using it for is just to stand up and quickly do a runoff so that I can see who is on the little landing pad outside by the vents. It can help me make a decision if I want to just completely jump out of the window or just go for a quick peek.
Or two. He's going to have to ace in 15 seconds. It doesn't seem likely. Sees the defender.
Alright, now going next to the train museum, we're going to be in the mining room, and all we're going to be doing is vaulting up, and Pengu showed us that you can use this to get a really nice angle that's on the bar staircase. Now right here you can see these bullet holes, and you guys saw that as he was approaching towards the top of the staircase, he was checking angles at head level, but unsuspectingly Pengu was pretty much at the top of the doorway. Really sneaky line of sight.
To your team, his primary job is to get kills. So if he's failing to do that, that means that he's not following through on his obligation to the team. Whereas if you have somebody playing on Anchor, they might not be needed so much to get those kills themselves. Fabian is going to be exposed for a very long time as he gets back inside, just on the terrace by reading room doorway. He's thrown a Valkyrie cam down under the window by white stairs.
Alright, now we're going to be taking a look at a Valkyrie camera that Fabian used, and he actually jumped outside onto the terrace and was exposed for a very long time. But like you guys heard the commentators say, it actually is pretty safe in order to do this, because you don't have as much access to this if you're attacking. Even if you're exposed, it takes a few seconds to get over there. So by the time Fabian was able to get inside, he was already very safe. One extra word of precaution that you could do is you could pre-open this door or have it meleeed out a little bit so that you can just run and vault through. But you guys can see it's a very well hidden camera. It's inside of the little plants, and you'll be able to see anybody that's rappelling up the side of the wall.
Blue glow around it when they go on it.
There's not a lot of potential for you to kill Fabian as he goes for that run out. East balcony is kind of elevated. BC is going to try and light up one of the feet of Penta Sports, but it's not going to happen.
That was Fabian rotating down. He'd seen it for just a second and will miss yet again. He does see the yokai.
Ooh.
BC just narrowly misses. He was in a prime position with two beautiful opportunities to put Penta Sport in a deficit, but couldn't make it work.
Could have been so influential had they got that yokai drone, but it's not going to happen.
Alright, now we saw a really nice rappel that BC was using, and every once in a while during the prep phase you'll actually get lucky enough and your drone will actually spawn right here. When that happens to me, I pretty much will just leave it in this drone hole. I will change my spawn so that I can instantly run over here and get a rappel up and take a look and see if anybody's rotating around. Now, especially when defenders are defending around the train room, this is a great angle to hold. Give a few seconds to see if anybody's rotating around the area. Of course, do your drone work. But if anybody gets picked off from here, that's going to give your team such a huge advantage. And generally, it's very safe because in order for a defender that's inside of the house, in order to see you, they're going to either have to jump out of the window or lie down and go completely prone in front of the drone hole, leaving them very exposed.
Finals. Because of their strong play on Bank, they were able to get to the finals in Gamescom to play against Penta.
Really like this setup here from Evil Geniuses, kind of telling of where BC will be playing, of course with the only piece of a non-destructed wall, but could potentially work, maybe catch Penta Sports off guard.
Alright, now this is a strat that I'm really looking forward to getting a squad together and going in at it. If you have just one person setting this one up, this can take way too long and you won't be able to pull it off very successfully. Now, if you guys are able to clear out both sections of these walls, you're going to essentially be making just one giant room that's overlooking a bomb. Now, generally, you're going to leave your small little section for the Mira wall so that way, if need be, you can have your smoke or anybody with a nitrocell, impact grenades, or whatever the last resort may be for anybody that's planting along the wall. But from here, you can tell that if you're attacking, you just have so many different places to keep an eye on now. It's not as simple as just clearing one room and entering in. Now you have to watch rotates from an extra 3 doorways as well as an extra hatch. So really cool spot to keep in mind if you and your team want to work together a little bit and get a cool new setup going. See how it works for you.
Just at the top of White Stairs. And a very strong sight play now from Penta. Currently hold the lead. So that they are breaking under pressure. In this case, it's not really an attribute that Penta has amongst their core 5 members.
Now, it's really cool because I feel like I learned so much from watching BC play during this game. Now, BC was using a really nice line of sight that goes all the way from the Skylight stairwell down to the top of server stairs, or some people like to call it blue stairs. Now from here, this is a really unexpected angle. A lot of defenders, if you catch them while they're still trying to set something up or even watching an entryway, this can be a very nice angle. Definitely going to throw people off guard. And one thing that got me thinking, now I'm kind of curious to use it as a defender to go for anybody that may be rappelling up the windows, but who knows, I got to get in the game and try it out.
That's success. And that's in part largely because EG doesn't appear to be playing anywhere near as aggressive, but also it appears that Penta has learned and adapted. And those adaptations and those changes can make a world of difference. That camera is designed only to see the balcony from above. Very difficult for Penta to be able to spot it. We'll give information as Necrox now looks to roam. Canadian.
Alright, now I will be the first to admit if I feel like a certain tip isn't actually that helpful. But the problem I was having with this one is that this camera is so badass and it's a really nice spot. My problem was that I was spending so long trying to figure out the perfect angle to throw this Valkyrie camera. I was in this custom game. I must have thrown over 50 Valkyrie cameras with having to commit suicide restarting the game in between just in order to reselect Valkyrie. You have to stand in a certain spot and curve the camera so that it lands on top of the light bulb, otherwise it would be too exposed. If you're able to make it land right on top of the light bulb, then it will be very difficult for attackers to see while you can still see the top floor. So if you guys have a better way to throw it up there, be sure to let me know.
Slow them down. They'll also force EG to have to spend a considerable amount of time clearing both the upstairs as well as downstairs. You saw some barricaded doors up, and that means that EG will have to get both floors before they can start to get to the main one. It's a lot of coverage for the attackers to have to expend and can kill a lot of time.
The rotation in the hallway is likely to open up that wall with an Ash charge later on. See explosives used here. That's actually, I think that was Eunice using an impact to try and get another angle. MVK not going to be able to get that one because Eunice is prone. Very wise behind this couch.
Alright, now from this angle, this is going to be so frustrating for defenders, especially when they're defending on the top floor. If you have an Ashe or somebody that can blow up some walls for you, you can rappel on the west side window of the map bank, and from here you can open up so many walls and see so deep inside that anybody rotating around by the vending machine area or south side of bank on the top floor is going to have such a difficult time. The objective with this one is to kind of pinch them inside of the objective, and then from there the rest of your team will be able to make a good pinch on them. Or in the case that we saw in the Pro League game, they were able to pinch the roamer and get him cleared from the top floor. Very difficult to rotate out. You can imagine if I'm a defender right here, if I step foot in this hallway, I'm pretty much dead because it's just a straight shot for anybody that is rappelling on this window here.
Work to focus on BC downstairs in main lobby.
Activating camera.
Some camera work going up, and Fabian manages to grab it.
New camera feed up and running.
It's likely that you're going to see Young try to go towards that big window. Fabian having some difficulty
He's
trying to hide that camera fully on the darkened strip trim of the actual wall itself to make the camera less visible when the attackers push in. There's no IQ nor Thatcher, so that camera will have to be taken down and spotted manually. Not taken out by an EMP nor by an IQ. Just simply spotting it on her gadget.
You see Penta.
Alright, bros, map number 5 is going to be Coastline, and we're going to be starting this one off with a really nice Valkyrie camera looking down the second floor hallway towards the east hand side, and it goes pretty much all the way down to the wall. Now this camera is really good because it is really sneaky. It's going to be very difficult for somebody to take it out unless they have an IQ, and there's a couple different ways to throw the camera. At first I was trying to figure out what Fabian didn't like about the first throw, but I believe it was because he just didn't have it positioned on the side of the wall. It allows you to see a little bit lower and allows you to see pretty much all the way down to the wall that's going to be right outside of the penthouse. And you can see if I'm just looking at it with my sights, pretty much near impossible to spot.
Remaining, that could have been the Ella dispatched just over halfway through the round. Fabian, though, undeterred inside of Sunrise Barn. Haven't been able to get in at all. Goga finally...
Alright, now Fabian showing us the goods with yet again another spot. That makes 2 in a row from him, and this one is really sick. All he was doing was laying down, making a melee hole, and he's able to lay on the side of the couch, and from here, he's able to look all the way down the staircase of the first floor hallway into the main lobby. And look at that, you can shoot all the way to this wall where it is so common for attackers to enter from, and unless you aim down sights, it's very difficult to see this melee hole. And even if you pre-fire the melee hole, Fabian was so far back that generally he should be pretty safe.
Simply go in through an open doorway. They don't have to really worry about a window. Canadian, a spawn peek, really? The glass goes down! That'll open things up, and EG taking gambles that pay off. You gotta think that'll hurt their push.
Only one set of smokes now, and no one can look through them anymore after Eunice goes down. That spawn peek right there is about as common as it gets. Canadian clearly relying on that fact, and Eunice just not checking his corners. Very negligent.
Not expecting a spawn peek in this point in time.
That specific angle, that specific spawn peek is so common. You just don't think you'd see it at this level. This is as high as it gets when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege competition. And yet, basic, simple spawn peek.
Alright, now we saw a very common spawn peek from Canadian. Now what I'm assuming happened at this high level, they were just thinking, we're playing at such a high level, there's so much on the line, nobody's gonna go for such a common spawn peek that everybody knows about, right? Well, I guess they were wrong. Canadian used that to his advantage and got the vibe that they assumed because they were playing at such a high level that something like this wouldn't happen. This clip is more so just to keep in mind there's always a time and a place. If you're playing at a really high level and you're going against crazy sweaty people, maybe some rookie tactics just might work.
What a trade! There's only one left! Shate! Can we see overtime? He starts his comeback with 1 kill. He does not hold the diffuser. There's only 30 seconds. 6th of the round. Not a lot of time. You see a mark, that will be a drone. Still up for Penta. Trying to gather that information.
Alright, now what we just saw from Shate were some mind games, and you can use this in any situation. You can always use noise to your advantage. Go pretend to break a barricade, make like they're gonna go around, make them check a different angle, and then go straight back to where you were. Sounds easy, but it can actually work at very high levels. Now that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know what your guys' favorite tip is. And of course, as always, gonna leave the final moments of the game, which is the final 2 rounds at the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoy. I love you guys all. Again, I apologize for the layoff. I love you guys all. I cannot tell you that enough. See you guys all very soon in the next video. Peace.
Be certainly to his doom. Canadian, though, comes out of nowhere. That's the captain. They work together. Great communication. Goga dislodged, but Pengu has the Vigil just nearby. Will eliminate BC. NBK and Canadian a rally. 2 away, but Pengu comes in. He takes Necrox down before retreating himself. There's the Blackbeard on the window, and now Fabian on the flank. 2 each. Canadian has a tiny portion of health. He holds that diffuser. Pengu down. Fabian all alone in theater. He sticks the diffuser. Waits for the audio cue. Young will need to cover. There is a C4 from Fabian. He primes it. Canadian falls off. He goes down. Young will need to get in. He has only 10 seconds, and he enters. They will be in a standoff. Can he get the Valkyrie? 2 seconds. Young pushes up, running out of time. Neither get it. You can expend 1 down, but wow, NBK eliminates Jonas, and that smoke, you cannot see through it. Amidst the smoke, you can see the plant going down. Fabian gets Necrox, who goes on the flank. Shate uncontested. Diffuser goes down. Now EG will need to retake the site. But Young trading off Goga. Fabian takes NBK down. BC, it's 2-2. It's Pengu and Fabian left. 2 of the best known players on that team. Their captain sufficient. Fragger Fabian down. It's Pengu, the Ash just waiting, or rather the Hibana just waiting. They'll look to push together. The diffuser in a position where they'll have to see when the Hibana goes through. One will cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for 1 on the Young. Can he go the second? There